What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thundernut DFS. This is my Draftkings MMA Picks for UFC 240. Not as strong as a card as we'd expect for a pay-per-view, but it's a card. There are actually some really good fights on here, though, but overall it is a very weak card in my opinion. But the contests on DraftKings are a little bit bigger than normal, so that's good to see. So there's a lot more money to be made than usual, so I'm excited about that. A few announcements to make. We actually did our first MMA podcast. I'll put the link in the description. It goes over a lot of great information. I break down the fights, break down some DraftKings stuff, and I even mentioned a few of my bets in there. Really awesome podcast. It's like 40-something minutes long. It was very fun to make, and go check that out. Put the link in the comments. It's called the Uppercut DFS Podcast. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description. But that's about it. Before getting started in the video, if you guys can leave a like on the video, that'd be awesome. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed, I'm gonna be posting a lot of content. I'm gonna be posting prediction videos, DFS videos for MMA, football, NASCAR, and also PGA. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all that. And I'm very excited for this week. Very excited to keep it going and have a very good summer so far this week. This summer in MMA. Been absolutely on fire, so very excited. I was not able to post a video last week. I was on vacation, so it's good to be back, and I'm very excited for this week, so let's get to it. All right, so core plays, Max Holloway, he's 9,400. He's absolutely my favorite play on the slate. I think he's going to outscore everybody and by a lot. This guy is the DraftKings GOAT. He scored 90 points and lost his last fight. And he scored 190 points against Brian Ortega. He had about 290 significant strikes, something like that, something crazy. But yeah, 190 DraftKings points, absolute slate breaker, Max Holloway. Like I said, he's the DraftKings GOAT. I'm tempted to lock this man. I don't really like locking people. But I am confident he's going to win. I'm confident he's going to score high, and I'm confident he's going to be the highest scorer. So, yeah, I do like Max Holloway at 9,400. You're getting a $200 savings off of Chris Cyborg, which I feel like a lot of people are going to be on due to her huge line. But I like Max Holloway, and I like him as the best play of the slate. And then another guy, Geoff Neal, is my second favorite play. He's a great play here at 9,000. This fight to go to decision. To finish inside the distance is like minus like 400, something crazy like that. So we know that this fight's going to get finished, and I think Niko Price is going to be the one that gets finished, and I think Geoff Neal gets a first round brutal knockout, maybe gets two knockdowns along the way, or a knockdown. But I feel like he's going to be the second leading scorer out of all fighters here, or even third behind Cyborg, but you are getting that $600 savings. So I like Neal a lot. I'm going to have him in a bunch of lineups. Going to be very overweight. Hopefully he's a little bit low owned, but I am expecting him to be around 40% owned, something crazy like that. But I do think he knocks Price out, and I do think he is a must-have on the winning lineup. In cash, I think he's going to be a sneaky play, because I think people are going to be worried about Price, but I'm not worried about Price here. Too much. It is a little bit of a worry, but not too much to the point where I'm not going to play him, and I love Neal this week. Another guy, Pantoja, 8,300. He's just the better fighter all around. He can take this to the ground. On the feet, he's a better striker. He throws with more volume. The only thing you got to worry about is him getting knocked out. Figueiredo has a bunch of power, so that's the only thing I'm worried about. But I do love Pantoja. I think he can pay off that 8,300 price tag, maybe with some advances, some takedowns maybe, or maybe even get that knockout, because he very well could get a knockout here. So I do like Pantoja quite a bit as a core play. And then my last core play, you got to throw an underdog in there, and the underdog I'm throwing in there is a Sung Woo Choi. He actually opened up as a plus, I believe it was like a plus 115 underdog or something like that, or like a plus 120 underdog, and now he's actually like a plus 105 or a minus 105 underdog. It's very close, and either way, I think this fight is going to be, this line's going to flip by fight time. Choi's going to be the favorite, so I do think he's going to be highly owned. in GPPs and cash, but I do like him, and I'm gonna eat the chalk here and play Choi. He has like a huge reach advantage and height advantage. He's gonna be the bigger fighter. I believe he has like a 7-inch reach advantage. So yeah, I love Choi, and I love him to win here. And at 7,800, even a win here, I think he'll pay off his price tag. And he also does have some knockout upside too, I believe. And I do think he could possibly get that knockout, maybe even some takedowns here. So, yeah, I like Choi quite a bit as a core play. Now my GPP plays. Erik Koch, he's 8,000. I think he's going to go a little bit under the radar. 8,000 and 8,200 matchups. You don't really see that highly owned, so I think we can get him at a good percentage here. I just think Kyle Stewart's not good, and I think Koch has the experience, the wrestling, the grappling, the ground game. I think he can win a squeak out a decision here. Stewart has the power, the knockout power. If Koch can avoid the knockout, I think he can win a very convincing decision here. If he can avoid that knockout, those hard punches. And Koch on his Instagram, he looked very good. He posted a couple pictures. He looked very good. I believe he's moving up a weight class. Yeah, I believe he's like moving up a weight class. So there were worries about that, but he's looking very good. So I do like Koch a lot. 8,000, you're gonna want to play some guys that are in the low 8,000s, high 7,000s, and Koch's my guy here for a nice GPP play. I would not play him in cash probably, just a little bit too close for me in cash, but I do like Koch a lot. And then Jotko, he's 8,700, a nice GPP play here because he could get them takedowns. He could get some ground and pound, maybe even a finish, but ultimately I don't like him. I don't really like him to win the fight. I like Barry a little bit more. I'd rather play Barry, but altogether he isn't a bad GPP play. I will have a little bit of exposure because there is a good chance he'll win. He doesn't really possess much power, but he could get maybe like a ground and pound submission, something like that, something on the ground. But I am picking Barry to knock him out because he's so chinny. But he is a nice GPP play, and I will be having some of them. I'm not going to fade him completely, but I am picking him to lose. And then Jillian Robinson, she's 8,600. A fantastic GPP play here because the line is crazy to finish inside the distance. Usually in women's MMA, you don't see a inside the distance line this crazy. I believe it's like minus 210 to finish inside the distance, which is pretty crazy for women's MMA. So you're going to want a piece of this fight one way or another with Frodo or Robertson. I like Robertson as a GPP play, 8,600. If she wins, it's going to be by submission. Don't think she's going to knock Frodo out or anything, but yeah, if she wins, it's going to be by submission. So I like her 8,600. She can easily pay that off with a submission win. And then Cris Cyborg, I'm not too high on as many people are this week. Yeah, she's going to win. Yeah, I'm very confident she's going to win, but she's so expensive, 9,600, and there aren't many underdogs pump plays this week. So I'm just probably going to play very little Cris Cyborg, fade the chalk here a little bit. Yeah, I think she's going to win, but yeah, I think Neal and Holloway are going to outscore her, so I'd rather take the savings and get those two and then play Cris Cyborg, because at least with Neal, you're probably going to get a knockdown or two, something like that, a bunch of significant strikes, but Cyborg, I think she's going to finish Spencer right away. I don't think she's going to rack up that many points, and for 9,600, you're going to want a couple of knockdowns, a bunch of significant strikes, and a first-round finish. I just see her finishing her pretty soon, right away, or I also see it maybe going into like the third round or going to the decision, which would be absolutely awful. So I wouldn't mind fading that Cyborg chalk. And then live dogs, Barriot, he's 7,500. He has great knockout power. I think he has a chance to knock out Jotko here. Jotko's proven to be very chinny. I believe he got knocked out like twice in a row and then took a little bit of a layoff, and then he came back and won. Yeah, he's chinny. Barry can catch him. He throws very, very hard. Barry can take this, keep this on the feet and make it a striking war. Barry can very well knock him out at some point, catch his chin there, and definitely pay off that 7,500 price tag. And then Sarah Froda, she's a finisher. That's what she does. 7,600. This fight's not going to end in a decision, so you're going to want to have a piece of this. And I like Sarah Froda a lot at 7,600. I think she has a good chance to get a knockout. She is a black belt, so that worries me a little bit for Robertson, picking Robertson there, because maybe Froda can keep her own on the ground, but Froda's takedown defense is just not very good. That's why I'm leaning more towards Robinson. But if she does stop the takedown and keep this on the feet, she's a far better striker, and she can knock out Robertson if this does stay on the feet and she does stuff a little bit of those takedowns. Maybe get maybe a reversal on the ground, something like that. Get on top, ground and pound, something like that. But if she keeps on this on the feet, she's a very, very, very good chance of winning. So I do like her as a live dog. And then some fades. You got Hakeem Dawadu. It's just 9,300. It's just so expensive, and I just like Neal a lot better. Or I'd rather pay up 100 for Holloway. I mean, he's not a bad play, but I'm expecting him to go to a decision. But would not be surprised if he knocked him out. But I just think Holloway and Neal are much better plays. And then same thing with Viviane Araújo, 9,100. She's not a bad play. She has a 100% finish rate, but I feel like her finish is going to come in like the third round. So I think she's going to score like low 90s. Like high 80s, something around there. So I just think other people in the 9,000s are going to outscore her and Dawadu. So those are my fades. And I'm also thinking about fading Sarukian, the Sarukian fight, because I think it's going to be a big wrestling match. So yeah, those are probably the four guys I'm gonna fade completely. And then my pump plays, of course, you got to put Niko Price in here. He has magic in his hands. He throws bombs. He can catch Geoff Neal, but I'm not banking on it. I'm going to have a little bit of Niko Price to save my butt here, but I do love Geoff Neal a lot. I'm going to be overweight on the field. I think Niko Price is actually going to be pretty high owned due to the fact that there aren't many underdogs that have a chance, and Niko Price definitely has a chance. He always has a chance. He always pulls a rabbit out of his hat in a fight and gets the win. We saw his last fight. Tim Means was piecing him up, and all of a sudden Price just knocks him out. That was pretty awful because I had Means, but yeah, I'm not going to be too high on Price. I think he's going to be a little bit chalky as an underdog here. Maybe like 20%, 25%, maybe touch 30% in GPPs, which is pretty crazy if it does, because I love Geoff Neal a lot. And then Horie, 6,900, just a strictly punt play with a puncher's chance. Dawadu was knocked out in his UFC debut, so he could get knocked out here. Horie throws bombs. He's a one-punch knockout power guy, so you never know. Could catch him there. But yeah, those are my pump plays. And then become a member of my Patreon. You'll receive my cash lineup. That's cash 90% of the time thus far. I posted on there the day of the fight. It's been working out very good. The last time I didn't cash was the Dos Anjos Lee fight, which was a long, long time ago. I don't know what it is. I've just been very good at cash. This year, I've only not cashed in double ups in like 4 out of the cards this year since January, which is absolutely insane. I believe that's like 25, 26 cards. And so yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess I just have a really good cash strategy. So. And then my lineup percentages on there, and then you get full access to my cheat sheet. You get all the stats on there, and then also includes projections. And then my UFC bets, I usually post 2, 3, 4 bets around there. I'll share with you guys. And then my Slack chat, which is a very good tool. You can chat with other people on the Slack chat, and just a very good tool to have. Talk with other people, talk to me, ask me questions. If you guys ask questions, I reply right away. I'm honest with you guys, and it's just a very good tool to have to see where everybody's at, and just a good way to communicate everything that I'm giving out content-wise. So yeah, you're going to want to hop on that. It's only $5 a month, which you will not find this deal anywhere else across the industry. $5 a month, that's $1.25 per card. Get it right now while it's $5. I don't know how much longer it's going to stay at $5 because it is getting very popular. So I'd get on that as soon as possible. But yeah, guys, that's about it. You can follow me on Twitter, nut_DFS. Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm going to be posting a bunch of content, prediction videos, football videos, PGA, NASCAR, you name it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And then check out the Patreon. I'll put the link in the description. And also check out the new podcast me and Chris did. Lots of great information on there. It's a good listen. So just take your time, take some time out of your day to listen to that. I'd really appreciate that, and give that a like as well. That's about it. If you guys have any questions, you know where to find me, nut_DFS. If you guys on Patreon have a question, you know where to find me. that's about it. Hopefully, you have a very good week this week, and let's keep this hot summer going.